You see the culture changing here, in just terms of just having someone who's just a different age and just
So the culture I don't think is going to change too much because I think Coach Westhead did a really good job of incorporating people to come to our games. But I know Graves is really about really in-depth community and having us as players represent the community well and engaging. And I really like that because despite, as a player, I'm more of if we win or lose, like who comes out and supports us means more than anything, especially in women's athletics. So I'm really excited to engage a little more. I'm not saying we didn't, but I think it'll be a little more, and I'm excited for that.
Yeah.
What was you guys met with him on Sunday? What was that meeting like?
It was different because we were just told to meet there at 2:30, and so we had no idea what was happening.
Okay.
And then I actually had to get Jillian from the airport. She was coming back in for visiting her family, so I was like, Lisa, we probably won't be there or we'll be late. And she was like, okay, we'll meet with you later. And then, a teammate was like, you might want to get here. And so I was like, oh, Jillian, I think it's a big deal. We got to get there. So we zoomed over there, and then we walked through the door, and it was like, oh my gosh, it was kind of like, this is nice to see. So it was just brief. He was just but you guys need to know the way he was talking. It was like he was like about to come here. So we were like, are you coming here? Are you not? And so we were like, okay, don't get your hopes up. But it was like a good meeting because it did give us a little hope.
Have you followed and paid attention to what he's been doing at Gonzaga the past few years?
Yes, I'm from that area,
Sure.
so I've been around it for a long time now.
Yeah.
And if you were a basketball player in that area, you wanted to play for Gonzaga and you wanted to play for Kelly. And so when I didn't, it was heartbreaking. But then my second time around transferring, he actually wanted me to go there, and it was like a little difficult the way of getting there. So I was like, Coach, I'm sorry, like I really want to, but it's a little difficult. And so when he came here, it was like. I was smiling, but at the same time, it's still hard because it's different. Right. Because we did, appreciate our coaches in the past.
What is it about Kelly that it brings out those, those
Yeah, because he's just a good person, and he knows how to, I think, treat people and his players and everyone around him. And he really, like he said, wants people to be engaged. And I really like that because it is important to know who we are as people because it's beyond the basketball court. I'm a believer in that too. Yeah. And so to know our fans and get to know the community and have them come out and support us means everything. So I like that about him.
Change can be tough, with a new coach, but is there a feeling like a fresh start? Like you mentioned it's kind of hopeful after
Yeah, it is. It is like a new start because it's different, and he's different, and from where he's come from and what he's done, and us as players, like you said, want to win, and so we are willing to do anything and everything to win because we feel as though we do have that talent and that working, like hard work ability to not, fall in the bottom of the Pac-12 and actually, rise above that and do well. So it's definitely a good change, and we're all willing to really work hard and do anything that he has for us in plans. So.
Do you talk to your teammates about Kelly? Were all of them familiar? I mean, you seem to be probably the most familiar.
Yeah, some were. No,
there's
a few. Obviously, Jillian at the USA camp.
Sure.
Jordan Loetta was not too far down the road from Spokane, and Lexi Peterson was also recruited there. Was between here and Gonzaga, so quite a few of them know him, and it's hard not to know him with what he's done for women's basketball, and so some were familiar and some are not. But I think with anything, even though we do know him, it's still like that process of getting to know him and that change. But
does it help? Obviously, when a new coach comes in as a player, it's got to be a little nervous times. You don't know what's going to happen. Does it help having a guy that at least you're familiar with and you've had discussions with and been recruited by?
Yeah, it does. It really helps. That's why I'm sad that I only have a year left. And also because I really care for my teammates and want them to be comfortable as well and want them to be okay because they were recruited from the beginning by Coach Westhead and I wasn't. So for them it's a little more different, and just trying to keep them as far as knowing that it's going to be okay. Yeah. And so that was the biggest. That was the biggest part for me. So that was my job through it all, and yeah, it is nice to kind of know him a little bit. So.
What was it like for those 2 weeks without a coach? Was that weird?
That was really weird because you literally wake up and go, what do we do?
Right.
As far as just and it's weird because, there's some coaching changes in the middle of the season where then you just have to, bring someone in immediately, and thank God we didn't have to do that. But it kind of helped losing and having that break because, you do take a couple weeks off. Every program does kind of after that, most programs, I should say. And so that was like okay because we were kind of on our break, but then kind of moving closer to the end of the 2 weeks, we were like, okay, so we're going to get in and lift, or we're going to get in and practice, and we didn't have that structure. So it was a little different, but we knew it was going to be okay in the end. So.